Hello everyone, I'm Lilac and that's Badge Joker, and in this video I'll be giving you some tips and tricks for Joker, as well as how to think like Hydra Hunter. The Joker build I use is Trump Card Insolence with 2 stats of Power Breaking, Inertia, and Panic. Feel free to pause the video if you need to take a picture of it, and copy it for your own usage. So, I like the top left corner spot in the Arms Factory if I'm playing Joker, because it allows easy access to rocket parts, and also it allows me easy access to chasing the survivor who spawns where Prospector spawns. Unfortunately, here Prospector has a magnet and a god pallet, and I don't feel like breaking it, so I decided to chase forward instead. Even if he dropped pallet time, I still would have gotten a hit because it's such an easy pallet to mind game around. Here, since Ford already has a rocket drill attached, which means he has half healing, I switched to Postman. And Joker has a 3-second invulnerability period when he starts dashing, so I use this to dodge Postman's dog and get hit on him. Now I can easily blink down the Postman, and Ford cannot come to harass or rescue because he has a half health, and this is already looking really good for me. Here I take note that Postman has Knee Jerk as one of his final talents, and it's really important for hunters to memorize what talents survivors bring so we can take advantage of it in the mid to late game. While I'm in attack recovery animation, I look at ciphers and notice that only one cipher, the one Gardner is on, is being decoded, which means that someone has to be healing the Forward. At the start of the game, I put a drill on Forward, which means he has minus 50% healing speed, which is super slow, meaning they likely have very little cipher progress. Here, I notice Gardner's coming in, and I make a small mistake here by hitting her a bit late, allowing her to get a bubble off. However, I do notice that Basement, I see through the window that Basement is not an Arms Factory and is in Shack. And every bit of information is crucial for Hunter because one little mistake can cost an entire game, and we want to prevent the chances of that as much as possible. Keep Basement location in mind, it's going to be really nice later on. Here I also noted that one of Gardner's final talents was Tide Turner, which means her other talent is likely borrowed time, and she could be a really easy chase if I want to switch onto her later. Unfortunately, here I make a small mistake by not noticing Ford dashing at me and equipping some rocket parts, and losing all my rocket parts. Ford gets an instant rescue for free, but it's fine because Ford makes a mistake right back, and I get a free hit on him. Ford decides to keep harassing me for some reason. I'm not really sure why. I decide to equip rocket parts and go straight for the Postman again, trying to secure that first kill. However, Gardner blocks my way, Prospector is here too, and Ford goes right into me. Here, I still know where Postman is, but now that Gardner's right next to Shack where Basement is, on half health with Tide Turner and likely no kiting trade, I down her and change targets on her. And now I have Basement. Remember, ciphers are still terrible with Ford being healed by Prospector, and that's why I am confident that this is a good play. Ford is still down on the floor, and Postman is at half health. Prospector is the only one who can come to the rescue, while Ford and Postman are healing each other. As I can notice by the lack of shaking ciphers, I pause here to look at ciphers, that I know that Postman and Ford are healing each other. I get tinnitus here, meaning Prospector is nearby. I see Prospector, and I managed to get a basement hit. Drop down hit. And for some reason, Prospector chose to rescue with no Tide Turner, which leads to them both getting down, and this is just a 4K position for me, with so few chances for survivors to come back and rescue from Basement. Neither Ford nor Postman has Tide Turner. Remember, Postman is not usually a Tide Turner character. I already knew he had Knee Jerk Reflex, and Ford, I know his Flywheel. The chances of being a Suey Forward is low, but not impossible. He does come in here. I do manage to get another drop down hit, and he is now gonna die. Unfortunately for Forward, it's at 4 ciphers left, meaning I can safely chair to Forward. I see Postman cipher shaking, meaning I know where Postman's location is, and now I can just equip my final rocket dash and dash over to them. To summarize what happened, information was my greatest ally in that game, in order to make decisions. Knowing the final persona of each survivor and the basement location allowed me to make the decision to change targets from Postman onto Gardener. And knowing that Fool was healed twice, making Cypher's really behind, also allowed me to camp basement safely without being worried about Cypher rush. And now Postman has absolutely nothing left to kite with. I do bait Flywheel a few times just in case he's a foe Sui, but that's not mattering because he goes down anyways. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and remember to like and subscribe.